Hi folks, this is Rose from Rose's Garden, and today we are going to make a large hair barrette. Here's the blank. And we're going to use the umbrellas, the little umbrellas, 2 of those, both of them, 1 of the little clouds, and 1 of the crystal briolets. The rest of the things will be from my stash. So clear that. Here is what we have to make this. We have our hair barrette blank. Have these 2 pieces. They're going to go side by side. This pretty flower piece in the middle. And then we're going to put our umbrellas here on both sides. Cloud up here. And the little crystal's going to hang down here. So we actually have to have this guy going this way. And then we'll have crystals all over it to symbolize the raindrops. But the first thing we're going to do is we're going to set this little guy aside, and then we're going to cut off these loops because we're not going to need them. And then I'm going to take my file and file those down a little bit so they won't have any sharp edges. Okay, there are our components sanded, the ones that need sanded. Now our next step we're going to do is paint things. So I'm going to get my silicone mat out. And we'll bring these pieces up on top. Now I have decided I want my little umbrellas to be colored. So we have a yellow and a red. So we'll just open these up and paint our umbrella pieces. There's the yellow umbrella. Now the next thing is these pieces. Now normally I color these a variety of more than one color, especially since there's some leaves here in the pattern. But this is going to be my background for my rainy day, so I'm just going to paint it blue. Okay, now that we have these pieces painted, what's going to happen is these are going to sit like so on our barrette. This one's going to sit over the top of it. The little briolette's going to hang right here. One umbrella will go down here. One will go down here. Then we have our little cloud up here in the sky. And then we're going to get crystals and sprinkle a couple on the top of the umbrellas and down from the clouds, anything like that. But the first thing we need to do is let these dry for a few minutes, and once we feel they're sort of dry, we need to go spray them. This needs to stay here because it doesn't need spray. So let's take these out in the garage, and I'm going to smack them with some Rust-Oleum. Okay, now I have sprayed these with a sealant, and they feel like they're pretty dry. So the next step is to put our filigree piece, our painted filigree pieces, onto our blank. Now I always test mine by sticking a couple fingers in them and squishing them, seeing how they do. They do fine. So What we need to do now is take our bracelet bender, and we're going to bend these pieces of there's something in this one. There we go, got it out. Got blue fingers. We're going to bend these pieces so that they'll fit onto our piece. That's perfect right there from the looks of it. Now we'll do the same with the other one, see how we get it in shape. Now this one is got too much of a bend, it looks like. See, there's a gap right here. So we need to straighten it just a bit. There we go. And then this little guy is going to go in the middle, on top of the other two pieces. Okay. Now this is going to go like so, and then these will go here, here, and here. Now when I get the cloud put in, I'm going to probably take some white fingernail polish and paint it in. But first we need to put the pieces onto here. And in order to do that, I've got some little clothespins that we'll hold things down with once we glue it. We're going to take some E6000. This is industrial strength clear. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cover my bracelet blank. Now we're dripping glue here, so we want to, this is actually going to probably be needed here, but we're really coming out here, so we want to, I'm going to smear some more up and down here, and then we're going to put the lid on quickly so it doesn't get any more coming out. So we'll put this, we want this right like so, and you'll notice I am putting them on the sides where I bent them to. This one is off center, so we got to get that back in center. Now we're going to take this piece and we're going to put a thin layer of glue all over it. Well, maybe not all over it, because we don't want this is gonna, the top and the bottom are not quite in needing of the glue because they're not going to, they're going to pop over the edges. So we want to center that as well as we can. And now we're going to take some clips and we're going to hold this in place while we clip it down. That looks like it's a little crooked. We'll fix that. That one's not going to open. I use these all the time and they get glue on them, and sometimes they say, hey, I'm done. I'm not opening for you. Okay, now this has to dry for a while. If there's enough, say there's enough room, like there is right here, we will just take and put the glue on the pieces. And glue it in place. This one's going to go right down between those two. Oops, that one fell off. We're going to fix that. Like that. This one may be trash. Sometimes when they fall apart, they don't want to go back together again. And this looks like that might be one of the cases here. But let's see if we can get him to go back on here. This one looks like it's got a problem too, mainly because it's got a big glob of glue right here. Okay. Okay, so we've got our cloud in. And I'm not sure if we can get our umbrellas in or not. That one is the one that just popped off, isn't it? So we'll just change that out. Go. Okay. So that little umbrella will go fine there. And this one is going to go right here. So we'll glue those two on. Oops, come on, you. Get out of here. Get up, down where you belong. Right there. There we go. Now we'll close this up. We'll put our red one on. And now this has to sit for about 15-20 minutes. And then we'll pull the clips, see how things are sticking, see if we need to remove some glue. And then we're going to paint the inside of the cloud white. And we're going to add some small crystals, a couple on the on the umbrella, and then across the sky area, and definitely a couple falling down here to represent the rain. So let's wait for that to dry a bit, and we'll be back. Okay, now let's check and see if these are dry enough to take our clips off. A little loose, but not bad. That just means it's not quite dry. This is good. Okay. Now, if you have any globs of glue that are stuck around, not quite being good, you can take your pliers and just ease them out. Now, what I want to do here is I'm going to take some white fingernail polish. Oop, I didn't shake that. I should have. And carefully dab it inside our cloud here. Now I'm not being as careful as I normally would be. I'm going to rub that white back off of our cloud edges when I get the cloud piece white enough in here for my satisfaction. Come on, baby, close that. There we go. Now I'm just going to take a paper towel and try and rub that off of the cloud piece itself. And if it doesn't come off to my satisfaction, we'll get the sand. We'll get a file and sand it down, because we do want the white off of the cloud. You need to be able to see that the cloud is a cloud. Close, but no cigar. Now, if you want, you can put a little more, color in there, or you can just leave it like so. I think it'll be all right like this. And now what we want to do is add our last bits, and that is we're going to get some crystals out, some little ones. I don't think I have enough little ones in this one, so we're going to have to open up this. And which means we want them in this, but since this has this little rubber piece in here, I'm going to see if I can't pull that out so that they can all fall down in there. Oh, there's two pieces of rubber in here. Well, I would have left one if I'd known there was two, but we'll put these aside, because what we're going to do now is we're going to open up this package of crystals that I've had here for a while that I haven't put away, and these are the same color as those are. And there are 3 sizes in here, which there are probably in here as well, but I only have a few of the little ones left, and I want the little ones to be raindrops. So what we're doing is getting this little case out of here. Come on, you. Haven't done this for a while. was klutzy, wasn't it? Okay, we're going to have to pick those crystals back up. In the meantime, let's pop the top off this. There we go. Now what I'm going to do, rather than try to dump those into the case, I'm going to just dump them into my and I have a triangle here, so we'll grab the ones that are on the mat, put them in as well. Now, actually I'm going to leave my tiny ones out. That's what I'm after. I probably want about 10 of them. So I've got 5 right here. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We'll start with 9 and pull the rest of these into the case here. See why I took the rubbers out, pieces out? These are pretty much fills that. Okay, now what I want to do with these little crystals is I'm going to they're going to become raindrops. So we're going to put a couple on the umbrellas. And then they're going to go across here. And then definitely down here underneath our cloud. We're going to need a few more. So once those are all on, as you can see, these are our raindrops. So we'll knock these back off of here, and then we're going to put some glue on them and glue our crystals up. And to do this, just take your glue and just spot it wherever you feel like it. One here, over here, 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 here. Now this is another time you may have to get rid of some excess glue because the glue will just keep pulling down. So I think that's all the spots I need. So now we just start, take our pliers and pick up our crystals and just drop them down onto where our glue is at. Bing, bing. put that one up too high because I felt the glue as I touched down. Now after these are done, you probably will definitely need to pull at least the runner strings off, because glue always seems to have a runner. Oop. See, there's one right here, in fact. So there is our raindrops on. Like I said, they'll probably need to, they'll need to dry for a while. And then we'll need to maybe pull off some excess glue. And definitely some runners. I can see some runners. In fact, there's one right here. Now, I don't think I'm going to want any more crystals. I might, but I don't think so. Things we want to do other than cleaning these up, that was a 3-inch ball head pin, which I just cut the head off of. We're going to use it like a 3-inch piece of wire. So we have that little briolet here. There it is. And we're going to take our flat nose pliers and we're going to make a bend. Slide our briolet down onto there. And bend it again. This time going up. And then we're going to make a triangle here. This briolet's a little bit, it'll be all right. So now once we've got the triangle built here, we're going to take this one and bend it straight up. Then we're going to hold this one and bend it down. So then we will hold here and wrap this up a couple of times. Now we'll cut this baby off. Tuck it in. So we have this little crystal here. Don't break the tip, Rose. Okay. Now we're going to, we want it to go through this little hole right here. So we're going to bend this forward because we're going to go through there. So we'll get our bell making pliers, our stepped bell making pliers. Go here, go up and over and around, bring it down. And I actually made this bigger than I wanted. So I am going to sort of try and straighten this out some, because I already have a couple of wraps on there. I don't want to make a really big wrap. So what I'm doing here is straightening it back out so that when I bend my wire, it's a very small wire as instead of a bigger wire. So up and around and over, bring her down, bring her up. Now she's got to have a gap because we're going to go into that little place right there. Then we're going to hold it. Just now that's way crooked, so we're going to have to straighten it up, of course. Now, ordinarily, I just cut this tail off, but we're going to make it into a tiny spiral, I think. So we'll get our needle nose out. We'll pull this up. Now, we just have to let it dry and clean anything off that needs cleaned up. I actually want this little spiral to come around. Let's see. It's in the back. We need it to come around to the front. Still a touch crooked. I think it's because I think one of the bars is crooked down below. But it'll do. Put our crystals away and we'll get our tweezers out and see if there's anything that needs fixed. Now sometimes when you pull the glue out from underneath the crystals to get them a little clearer, it ends up pulling too much and you have a loose crystal. Not kosher, but it does happen. So once we get this excess glue off of here, this baby's done. So and most of the excess and our cloud and our umbrellas, and I am going to try and touch up my my white fingernail polish in there just a little bit. And now, like I say, when you do this, you need to clean your cloud off. The exterior of it. And you can do that, like I say, with a file if you want to, or just with a paper towel until it gets, or even after it dries a bit, you can do it with your fingernail like you would like fingernail polish when it tends to scrape off your hands or your fingernails because it's been chipped at some. So and sometimes that's the easiest way. I use my fingernails for a lot of stuff. I think they are probably one of your handiest tools. And there we go. She's all done. So we can take her off the mat because we have finished our gluing and such. And we can get a better look at her that way. So there's our hair barrette. You have it. There is a really pretty, I think it turned out really nice, hair barrette using a crystal, one of the clouds, both umbrellas from Out of the Rainy Days SoftFlex Design Challenge Kit. And of course, our little flatback crystals are our raindrops. Hope you enjoyed making this with me. This has been Rose from In Rose's Garden, and again, we've been making a large hair barrette. Bye-bye.